What's going on? It's Coach No back in the building with another one. As usual, it's going to be jam packed full of jewels. And your time is always appreciated because you could be doing anything but you hear me checking out these reviews. It's another wild one about a husband unalived his wife in front of their teenage son. And let's check it out.
Live woman is dead and her husband is under arrest. Gigi Garcia live for us in Encino with the heartbreaking details. Good morning. Just a tragic story. It's bad enough that this woman, police say, was shot dead by her own husband in the street, but it also happened in front of their teenage son.
All right, man. Mental health, physical health, spiritual health, decision making. You already know what it's about, man. And yo, this is crazy because he unalived his wife, bro, in front of their teenage son, which is, not the best mental decision to make, and neither spiritually, physically. It's just, you know, like what can a woman really do to get on your nerves that much where you have to unalive her, man? Take that anger out on her. And, as a man, like I always say, we're supposed to be able to control our emotions, bro, because you are. And even if that means you have to leave that woman so you don't do anything that's going to put your life in jeopardy, her life in jeopardy, the kid's life. You know what I'm saying? The decisions you make affect you and everyone else. I say that on every review. So, it's nothing new, man. And it's an example of people who don't think before they act. Or if they do act, they act not it well. If they do think, they're thinking with emotions and not with logic and rationality. And this is an example of that, man. Doing something that you ultimately you either gonna regret it or wish you could take it back or something. Because people get on your nerves all the time. If you unalived everybody that got on your nerves, there wouldn't be nobody left, man. It's just all about controlling your emotions, though. And if you know that somebody's gonna get on your nerves, don't go around them. As simple as that, man. Just leave them alone.
For a female approximately 45 years of age, black conscious, lab breathing, gunshot wound to the head.
The victim, it turns out, was 54 years old, and police say she didn't stand a chance as the man believed to be her husband shot at her over and over again. At least one bullet you heard there hitting her in the head and killing her. According to police, it was just before 7:30 last night. The couple were here in Encino visiting someone when they got into an argument inside their SUV. This all happening at Hesperia and Santa Rita, just south of Ventura Boulevard. In the back seat, their son, thought to be only 13 or 14 years old, witnessing it all. Police believe the woman got out of the SUV in an attempt to defuse the tense situation, but her husband followed and, according to police, began shooting at her until she fell to the ground dead.
All right, so you see how emotions can, or being in your emotions as a man can make you make some irrational decisions. It says that the woman tried to defuse the situation by leaving out the car, and he still felt like that wasn't enough. At that time, that's purely, just not being in the right mental space and acting out of your feelings. And that's what happens when you do that, man. And on top of that, the son was in the car, man. 13 years old. He didn't deserve to see that. Him losing both parents in a split second decision that cost him his mom and his dad, bro. His mom is going and his dad's probably going to prison for the rest of his life. His mom was 54 years old. And honestly, so the guy probably had to be around, that age or something like that, give or take. But that's too old to be arguing and doing stuff like that with your woman, man. I know people in their 60s, like pops and unc and all of them, and they don't ever argue with their women. And if they might have like not even a heated discussion, they'll just move around before that happens, bro, because they know that they gotta live with them. That's the woman they chose, and they've been together so long that they know each other's triggers and stuff like that. And when they do that, they give each other their space so things don't take a turn for the worse like this. And that's really what you need to be doing at any age, really. Not just in your 50s and 60s, and 20s, 30s, 40s, all of that, bro. If you know that you with somebody and you guys get into it sometimes and things can take a turn because you both want to be right or something like that, and give each other the space that you need. It's okay to give each other space. It's okay to not talk for a while so you can clear your mind, or get whatever emotions you got out of your system in a positive way by going to do something that you like, riding your bike, going to the gym, whatever it is that you do, man. And that'll really save you from making these irrational decisions like this, man. 'Cause it really doesn't make any sense, bro. Especially, again, going through that with a child in the backseat, even if it was a teenager. Don't nobody want to see their mom unalive by their dad like that, man. That's crazy.
Your son right there watching it all. Neighbors say they heard so much gunfire they actually thought it was fireworks.
And it was just pop, 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 like that, back to back. So, and I mean, I didn't think of anything until my wife went outside and told me that, yeah, there was police activity here.
Man, dude, damn near empty the clip, bro. He wasn't thinking. Like, the gun is supposed to be for protection from other people, or some type of event or something that might happen. Like, he used it against someone that he supposedly loved, man. And if you feel like that about the woman that you're with, that can make you do something like that, do you really love her? Because if you can unalive her, she's not coming back. You only get one life, man. And if you let your emotions take over to the point where you do something like that, it's not really love. That's, letting anger and jealousy, stuff like that, take over you, bro, and making a decision that you can't take back. And you're making a bad situation worse. And like they said, the woman tried to defuse the situation. Usually it's a man who walks away most of the time, and the woman doesn't let it die down. But in this situation, dude's in his feelings, man, and you see what happens when you get in your feelings.
When police arrived, they locked down the neighborhood because the suspect wasn't here. He actually walked or ran away. He was found 2 blocks away by some Alert West Valley patrol officers who spotted him at Newcastle and Ventura Boulevard, and that is where they took him into custody. Now, the suspect and the victim have not yet been publicly identified. We know he is 64 years old. As for their son, again believed to be only 13, possibly 14 years old, he was taken in by some other family members.
All right, so 64 years old, man, that's way too old to be doing something like that, bro. Even though, you got some years left, and it's okay to break up with that woman or leave if you know that you don't like her that much to the point where you don't want to see her here. And, that's your wife. Get a divorce, man. Don't, take till death do us part into that manner, because then you're going to end up going to jail. And then obviously he ran because he probably, I don't know, well, in the moment he wasn't thinking, and he ended up unaliving her. Then when he realized what he did, he got up out of there, man, leaving his son right there. Thank God he didn't do anything to his son, because a lot of these reviews, people be unaliving the kids and all of that, in-laws, all type of stuff, bro. So this situation could have went either way. And I mean, it's messed up that he did unalive the woman, and at least he did leave the kid alone, though. And he ran, but he didn't get too far.
Reporting live in Encino, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you. That's an awful story. Thank you, Gigi.
All right, man. So then just to say, like, he traumatized that kid, man. That kid didn't never expect anything like that. He probably seen them arguing before. They were comfortable arguing in front of them. Some people don't argue in front of their kids, and they go somewhere else and have their discussions or their heated discussions, their debates, whatever you want to call it. But most of the time, it is an argument that leads to things getting out of hand and turn into a domestic, man. So, as a man, you have to be mentally, physically, and spiritually stable enough to walk away, man. So you don't make these kind of decisions, bro. And like I always say, the decisions you make affect you and everyone around you. And this one, it affected his kid. Now the kid got to go with somebody else because his mom and his dad isn't there. A split second decision took away both parents. And, 64 years, it didn't take 64 years to make that decision, but he just threw 64 years of his life away off a decision that took 64 seconds, man. So just be conscious of the type of decisions you're making, man. And, those arguments don't really be worth it. I'm not saying people don't argue with their wives and stuff like that. What I am saying is you got to be able to control your emotions and be able to walk away from those type of situations and cool off, go do something, and then come back at a later time so you could actually talk about things. So if you know you're not going to be able to do that, then, don't make a bad situation worse, man. Anyways, it's Coach Noob. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're digging this kind of content. And your time is always appreciated because you could be doing anything, but you heard me checking out these reviews. Until next time, I'm out.